Amazing. You're a
I'm going to
legend.
be clear.
Right? Would I be dumb not to?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to stick my toe
I had
over
to
it
be
and
here.
I'm going to draw back. So you're going to see.
I wasn't gonna miss it.
You're going to be okay.
Yeah, I don't think it's any of her business. She's just the wife of the owner. She's got some nerve. She should just keep her female sit-down urinating ass out of it.
Bill, if you can hear this is not.
Not me. I didn't
I
do
didn't
this.
say that. I love Amber.
I'm a guest.
Amber is a boss.
She
Amber
is
is
the
a
best
boss.
person ever. I don't believe what. Yo, this is one of the great stories, and I probably told this story before, but we're gonna tell it now. You know, I've been watching Kill Tony for a while before I even thought about coming, because they were in LA. I wasn't going to LA at the time. I hadn't been to LA, and I've been multiple times since. But at the time, I hadn't gone, so I was like, I'm not doing that. But when they came to Austin, I was like, we're gonna go. And from watching the show, one of my favorite people was Brian Holtzman. He would always bring a gift. He would always be quirky and funny. And then it had me start watching him outside of just that universe, right? And that's how powerful that show is that you can watch somebody on there and then become a fan of them, right? I saw that Brian was coming to Snappers, and it was only for one night. I lived by Ocala, Florida, which is northwest Florida, so like right in the Panhandle, up at the top, right? And Fort Myers is literally almost at the bottom. I traveled 4 hours to go see Brian, and I had a relationship with one of the snappers in Florida. So they have two snappers. They have one in Palm Harbor and then one in Fort Myers. And I had a relationship with the one in Palm Harbor. But I'm shifty. I know how to get in and talk to the people that kind of run the show. So I was able to get down to the show, and it wasn't a guarantee that I was able to work it, but I was able to get it, right? So I get down there, and as soon as I get out the car, the first person I see, Brian Holtzman. And that was cool. He was like, "Oh, you're a comic?" I was like, "Yep." He goes, "Hey, I'm down here. Do you want to open?" I was like, yes. The funny thing is that video I just posted is about, she's the female that featured for him. And we'll get into that. But I go in, we sit down and we talk. We standing outside, and then that's when that video happens. And she's just trying to tell him, like, you'll be fine. I know these crowds. I'm going to go right up to the line, and I'm going to, and I was like, do you know who, have you, and that's a problem in itself. If you're a feature for a comedian, you should look at the comedian. You should see what type of style the comedian has. You should be able to determine whether that's a good fit or not a good fit. Because in this instance, it wasn't a good fit. Not for him, but for her. Okay? I go up there, I'm hosting. So I go up there, I do a quick 10 minutes up front, hand it over to the feature. She gets up there, and you know those comedians in comedy where you're just like, you're just mediocre at it. And it's not the fact that she's a woman comic, because that isn't the issue. It's just that her subject matter is old. Her theatrical movements is way too, it's more theater-esque. Like, she used to be a theater major. Or in high school, she played Juliet. Or, do you understand what I'm saying? You can tell that comedy wasn't her first love. And Brian gets up there after her, which she did okay, because again, like you said, she knows the crowd, but everybody's there to see Brian. Now, there's a lot of people that don't know who Brian is, but his sister lives in Fort Myers, and that's why he's there doing the show. It's like a wham bam thank you ma'am type of thing. Two birds with one stone. He gets up there, and we all know Brian's material. He's talking about abortions. He's talking about handicapped people. And the girl, which is the feature, is furious. When I mean furious, I mean she's pacing back and forth in the back of the room. And I'm back there cracking up. because I noticed that she didn't know his material. So she's coming to me and she's like, how dare they laugh at this? This is the lowest of the low of comedy. I can't believe I opened for this guy. Yo, she had, as white people would say, a cowl. You feel me? Like, she was highly agitated. And what I believe is that I noticed that Brian's on stage and he notices that she's uncomfortable. So he just goes extra hard. And I'm in the back dying. That was one of the best moments in comedy that I've ever seen live. To see someone that is a feminist go on before and act like Brian Holtzman is a train wreck ready to happen. I saw it firsthand. So after the show, I stick around and I'm chopping it up. She left. She was out of here. She was pissed. So she just left. And this is the time where I had a chance to say, hey, Brian, man, I really appreciate the opportunity for performing. You're amazing. I would love to, work with you in the future. He says to me, if you're ever in Austin, hit me up and I'll give you a tour of the mothership. And I said, nigga, what? Nigga, what? And right after that, maybe a week, I'm telling you, maybe a week, and I was in Austin. And I get to Austin. Eventually, I go to the mothership. I tell them that, Brian said to meet him here. Then they call Brian. I get in. We go sit at Mitzi's. We sit at Mitzi's booth, which was iconic. Iconic. Sat in Mitzi's booth. And then from there, we went upstairs to the green room. Now, there's Alonzo Bolden. There's Genevieve Clinton, and then there's Mitch Burrow, all just sitting in there chilling. And I'm just like, and I don't, when you're around comics that, especially Alonzo, I know Alonzo and I've seen Mitch before too. And Genevieve is a fucking dog. So being around these individuals, my drive for wanting to do comedy just went through the roof. I'm in Joe Rogan's mothership's green room visiting. So I was like, yo, I gotta make sure I do well here, right? And I really appreciate, because that helped me get a relationship with Alonzo, a relationship with Mitch, a relationship with Genevieve, and I really appreciate it, because you definitely didn't have to do that. So, Mr. Holtzman, I want to say thank you very much. I appreciate every opportunity, everything that you do for me. You're literally one of those comedians that I look up to. Hopefully, you can be, if not already, my mentor, and we'll see where it goes. But thank you for everything you do. I appreciate you. I'll holler at you. Oh, and hold on. I don't even know if y'all know, I rated his comedy special in my comedy special review, and he hit me up and was like, thanks, my guy. So let me tell you something. Holla!
Until we meet again.